Hey everybody, I'm Tara.
I'm Chris.
From Crooked Row. And today we are starting more plants, starting more seeds. And this is our year of abundance. So we are excited to get as many plants started as we can. It's just that time of year. We're in February, and even though we're like unseasonably warm, we're expected to get cold again. So
yes, so we want to issue an invitation to come along with us. We are going to embark on a challenge to plant 1,000 plants.
Yes.
So come with us. We're going to go over to our grow room and we're going to see if we can get 1,000 plants planted. So come along with us and we'll let you know how it goes at the end.
Just so you know, really quickly too, we're going to utilize the grow room and we're utilizing winter sowing. I think from looking at our seeds and things, we might be able to get to 1,000 just by the grow room. So, but we definitely are utilizing winter sowing. So that can be included in the total if we need it to push us over. So today though, we're gonna get started. Peppers. If you know anything about growing peppers, peppers are one of those plants that take a long time. And so they take a little bit to germinate, and then they just don't super grow until they get out into the garden. I typically start mine in January and February just because I like to have a nice green plant to plant out. But just with those, I think we'll end up having about 140, maybe 200 plants, pepper plants to put out. So we're doing pepper plants, we're doing asparagus, and asparagus though, I'm not putting asparagus in this type of cell. We are planting the asparagus in, these really are bigger than a 4-inch. I think these are a pint. Is that a pint or a quart?
That's not
Doesn't
quite
say.
a pint.
Yeah. And so because I want them to have plenty of room for their roots to grow. And so I'm utilizing a normal seed tray, but these are with the holes in the bottom. Or if you don't have these, because I buy so many plants that I have tons and tons of those. But if you don't have that, you can utilize styrofoam cups, you can use solo cups, you can use whatever. The whole point is that you can transplant asparagus, but until they're a nice plant, you want to be careful about switching them in all of their pots. So, and I want you to keep in mind that you want to start asparagus now by seed, because asparagus can take up to 2 months to germinate. That is a long time. I mean, I think one of the longest I've ever seen is 2 weeks, not 2 months. So when I read that on the seed packet, I was kind of shocked. So we're gonna do those, and we're also gonna start impatiens and coleus. And I wanna remind you to please start your flowers as well, because flowers are just as much of a part of your garden as anything else is. So we are gonna get started doing that, and then we'll take you to our grow room so that we can count our plants and see where we're at on our goal of 1,000. So we're gonna get started.
Right.
Remind you to mark your trays. We don't need a paint pen, just a Sharpie for this and a plastic marker. Okay, here is my extreme white impatient seeds. See how tiny those are? That is tiny, tiny, tiny. Smaller than a mustard seed. here we are in the grow room, and as you can see, those are the ones that have already popped up. They have their first leaves. Some of them are getting their true leaves, but not quite there yet. A lot of what is on this first row is over here. These are herbs. These are the starts of peppers. We've got one row of dill, and this is another tray of peppers. Down here, on this heating mat, I have a heating mat right here, we have, I believe this is coleus and impatiens, both. Here is asparagus. We've got actually 2 trays of asparagus. And then these are plants that have already also popped up. We've got, we have a tray of flowers here. We have 2 trays of onions, and then this tray right here is celery. But a new addition this year is we have added a second shelving unit. And right now I have things on it because we're trying to get this room organized. But there are 6 tiers to this. These, these 3 trays we also just did. And they are on a heating mat, and actually we will be running to Rural King today or tomorrow to get these LED lights. I love these LED lights. They're like 6,000, I think, lumens. Yeah, they're 6,000 lumens, and you need 55 or more for your plants. So these work perfect. They're usually anywhere between $15 and $19. So we'll be outfitting these tiers as well with heating mats and lights to give us more room. So if you are counting, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 trays with, that's 11 trays with a 70 seed count. And then we have 25 asparagus plants going. Okay, so excuse the grow room. Remember, that is our laundry room and our utility room. So I always have to do like a juggling act because we also use it as our pantry through the winter. A lot of our canned jars are in there, so I start like shimmying things to one room and shimmying things to another to make it work out there. If our temperatures would stay a little better, I would actually utilize this, we'll call this the cold frame, because there's no heat in here. But like today,
it's quite warm.
Yeah, it's pretty, I mean, like I need to get this sweatshirt off if I'm gonna stay in here any longer. It's pretty warm in here. So, but we are actually expected to do what we do in Ohio, and that's our dip and go up, dip and go up. And so some of the plants can take it. Cabbage could take that. Broccoli sort of. Broccoli and cauliflower, you kind of want to keep consistent temperatures, but they can take cool temperatures. They don't really like the ups and downs, so when it becomes steady, they're pretty good. But cabbage can, kale can, peas can, lots of the flowers can. I was going to start some winter sowing things today. I'm going to end up doing it on another video because Elijah has an exam. So I got to take him to Miami. But I wanted to point out that we do this combination in our grow room of laundry room, utility room, grow room, pantry. And this is why we say if we can do it, anybody can. So what was the math on all that?
So we ended up with a total of 795. So we got 770 in the trays, 25 asparagus. So we're about 225 short of our goal of 1,000. But like Tara said, she's going to be doing some of the winter sowing here in a different video.
Well, and actually, let me look real quick. You can keep talking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Okay, and so we have some that's already planted right out here.
Yeah, and the winter sowing, actually, that's 8. There's 5 plants in each one, so that's 40. Oh,
okay.
We're still shy.
Yeah,
all right, I was going to use those to bump us over, but there's really no point in that. Like, but we're gonna
close, but no cigar.
We'll let you know when we hit 1,000. I think we're going to this year. So we're gonna keep a watch on the weather. We're supposed to get really torrential thunderstorms, and so we're gonna batten down the hatches for that. But we wanted to just show you, encourage you, even if you're only starting 1 plant, this is the time to do it. Look on your seed packet, see how far away, like right now, we're still in the 10-week zone. So I'm still planting things that need 10 weeks from our last frost date. Even if your frost date, is it stops early? No, even if your last frost date comes early, it doesn't matter. You still kind of do these the same. We're just trying to calculate how we're gonna get these plants through and to fruition, to big plants. So these are estimates, and so, but right now I'm working almost solely on the 12 to 10 week date. I'm getting ready to move to the 10 to 8, and then, you know, you just keep 2 weeks by 2 weeks, sizing those down, until we start making it to where we're gonna direct sow. And so everything has a season. Right now we're working with perennials, hardy annuals, and anything that needs cold stratification. That's winter sowing. In the grow room, sky's the limit right now. Just certain things need longer, like the onions probably need the longest. So, anywho, we are getting it done. And so follow us so that you can see. Ooh, I went after Tom. I mean, Bruce.
You're the kitty cat.
Yeah. But so follow us along as we are doing this journey this year. This is our year of abundance. We're going to see just how much we can put out. And so our very first goal this year is to see if we can break 1,000 plants out of the grow room. I think we will.
I think so.
Yeah. So remember, if we can start our 1,000 plants this year, anybody can. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.